Big G's Texas Roadshow in the studio this morning. The traveling, or hitchhiking, I guess, guitar man, Dean Strickland. Good morning.
Good morning, Big G. Thank you for having me.
Hey, you bet, man. You bet. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, I hitchhiked in today from Austin.
That's good. So tell me about this. Tell me the story about the hitchhiking. What's going on with all that?
Well, I started my 5th year of it, and I've taken about 1,200 rides from strangers on the highway, getting to about 250 gigs or more in about 60, close to 65 different cities around Texas and some outside of Texas.
You enjoy this life?
I do enjoy it because I have revolved my life around music, and it's at the cost of hitchhiking, but it sort of in some ways gives me an edge. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
it gives me an edge in my songwriting because I can write about my travels,
right?
Songs that I never would have written,
right,
had I not been out on the road.
Right. Where are you from?
I was born in Vicksburg, Mississippi, but since I was 5 years old, I've grown up in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth. Okay. I was in Vicksburg actually about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Passing through. Yeah, he'd come down. We'd been up to Nashville and Memphis, and came back down the Delta Blues Trail.
Yeah, you know, Vicksburg is kind of like the hill country.
Yeah.
With all the trees and the hills, it's beautiful out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got any? I saw you out there stringing that old Martin up out there. You got any songs in that thing for me this morning?
Well, thank you. I'd like to play a song that I just wrote maybe 3 weeks ago.
All right.
It's called "To Hold Your Heart."
All right, Dean Strickland here on Big G's Texas Roadshow.
What are we gonna do? We both say I love you. We're 1,000 miles apart, and my music career is at its start. How is it gonna be? Your hazel eyes I desire to see. This Texas highway, though, has the best of me. I'll make the trip before too long to Tennessee. If you find someone new before I get there, I'll be blue, 'cause I'll miss kissing your sweet lips for the first time. I've never met someone like you, Tennessee lady, my love is true. I hope this song I wrote gets through. To hold your heart is what it's meant to do. I'm on the road, it seems, every day. For different folks I sing and play. I won't deny I love what I do. A lie would be to say it compares to you. How is it gonna be? Your hazel eyes I desire to see. This Texas highway, though, has the best of me. I'll make the trip before too long to Tennessee. If you find someone new before I get there, I'll be blue, 'cause I'll miss kissing your sweet lips for the first time. I've never met someone like you, Tennessee lady, my love is true. I hope this song I wrote gets through. To hold your heart is what it's meant to do. folks say I love you. We're 1,000 miles apart. Thank you for letting me play that.
You bet, man. Thank you for playing it. Dean Strickland here on Big G's Texas Roadshow, the Hitchhiking Guitarman. The how does that work out as far as having relationships, Dean?
Well, I wrote that last song for a girl that I met in Nashville on September the 1st. I was hitchhiking from Nashville to San Antonio, and on my way out of Nashville, I met a girl, and I kind of liked her a lot, and we stayed in touch, and I've written her 2 songs, and we stay in touch by telephone and writing on the internet, and whenever I go back up to Nashville, probably in the spring, I'll see her again. But I just saw her. I met her for just a short period of time, but it was enough for me to take a liking to her, and so that's not serious, you know. But it's all good.
Yeah.
But
right.
Before I had met her, it was like, you know, I might meet a different girl in a different town or something, and you know, it's life on the road.
There you go. There you go. A man got to do what a man's got to do, so to speak. So, how long do you envision maintaining this lifestyle?
Well, I feel pretty good when I'm out on the road. I can keep up a good pace on the highway, and
Do you walk in your boots?
I do. I'm on my 9th pair of boots since I've been out on the road, and physically I feel good about it. And as long as I feel physically good about it, and there's still a desire to play out and not necessarily settle down in one town, I'll keep doing it. And the only other thing that would make me stop doing it is if the money came around in the business that I'm doing it for, and that is the music business. If the money came around and supported a different mode of transportation, I'm talking about completely supporting it, then I would definitely get out of hitchhiking and say, well, that's just the way that it was.
Right.
But that's not the way that it's going to be now. But as for now, I really don't see that I'll be ending hitchhiking, because I do love lots of things about it. I love meeting people, and I mean, I just love having time to think of lines for songs.
Cool.
And I get inspired by different people I meet and different situations that I am presented with.
Right. Okay. Good. Well, why don't you give us another song then?
All right. Thank you.
You bet.
I'd like to tell you a story about how soon after I met the woman of my dreams, I opened up to her and said, you excite me, Sherry, and I think I know what that means. But all I want to say for now is you excite me. Then she laughed and replied, what do you mean, Dean? I quickly said, I mean you're meaning more and more to me. Then began imagining that she was thinking, elaborate please. So I put it this way, though being with you seems too good to be true, if money enough I had to satisfy me and you, I'd ask if I could and stay a while. For your ladylike figure makes my joyous heart quiver as I happily gaze upon your photogenic picture that so beautifully captured your gorgeous smile. I'd take the journey and enjoy the travel, hoping our lives with prayer would less likely unravel, and would dread ever leaving you, one sweet embrace in our meeting. Now with the risk I take of sounding too forward, I say to you in my heart and thoughts you're adored. But I'm not afraid, and these things to you honestly, Sherry, I say. I mean you're meaning more and more to me with each passing day. Again, I mean you're meaning more and more to me with each passing day.
That's pretty good stuff there, Dean. Dean Strickland live in studio on Big G's Texas
Thank you,
Roadshow.
Big G.
So, you're playing Bandera Saloon tomorrow.
Yeah, from noon to 4, I'll be
Okay.
up there. I'll be playing some original songs and a lot of classic country music.
Okay. Where do you go from there?
From there, I go to Houston, Beaumont, Del Rio, El Paso, Princeton,
Houston,
Texas.
Beaumont, Del Rio. That's
Yeah.
You're kind of doubling back on yourself there, aren't you?
Well, that's the way I'm booked. Everything's the Houston and Beaumont are booked 3 days apart from each other, and then actually I'm booked 3 days after that in Del Rio. So yeah, I'm not giving myself much time. So I'll have to stay consistently on the road. But once I get into San Antonio, I just like today, I hitchhiked here from Austin. But what I'm getting at is that once I get into a town, is I can catch the local bus and get to the other side of town. Like today, I hitchhiked out of Austin. First thing I did was I got on the metro and went as far south as I could get, and then I hiked about a mile down the road with all my gear and caught a ride into San Antonio. Spent 3 hours on the on the Via bus, the local bus in San Antonio. Got as far west as I could. Hiked about 3 miles, and then it was dark outside, and I called my friend from Kerrville, Ron Ward, and he was nice and gracious enough to drive, must have been over 30 miles, and picked me up and brought me in. So
Oh, that is nice.
people I'm meeting out on the road are the majority of them are being really nice to me.
That's good stuff. That is great. I'm glad to hear it. Tell you what, I think we've got time for one more quick one.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
I'm gonna play a song. This is a story song about some situations that I walked into in a couple of towns, and this is a song about a situation I walked into in Luckenbach, Texas, and Amarillo, Texas.
All right.
And this song is called "A Cowboy Standing Up for Himself." Being a cowboy doesn't always mean being nice. Kissing up the uppity folks ain't this old cowboy's way of life. A real cowboy will always follow a lonesome, narrow trail. He doesn't like to unnecessarily fight, but he loves standing up for himself. I'm a traveling music man. I stay overnight with strangers now and then. It seems they always want to trust them. But I made a mistake one late June night by staying with the Luckenbach cook and his wife. A week later, only to be accused by him of identity theft I never did do. Being a cowboy doesn't always mean being nice. Kissing up the uppity folks ain't this old cowboy's way of life. A real cowboy will always follow a lonesome, narrow trail. He doesn't like to unnecessarily fight, but he loves standing up for himself. One day the lonesome road I was on led me to Lukenbach. I'd hitchhiked there from San Antone. It was almost mid-July, and to say the least, it was hot. Well, I'd hoped to be welcome there, planned on some picking and grinning, 'cause they claim everybody's somebody. But I was met with a bit of hostility in the air, as I was ganged up on unfairly by those poor old Lukenbach nobodies. I knew then just what I needed to do, seeing as how I'm a real cowboy through and through. For all that falsely being accused, that poor Lukenbach performer, I booed. Being a cowboy doesn't always mean being nice. Kissing up to uppity folks ain't this old cowboy's way of life. A real cowboy will always follow a lonesome, narrow trail. He doesn't like to unnecessarily fight, but he loves standing up for himself. A week later, I'd hitchhiked to Amarillo, and along the way past roadkill armadillos. I stopped to eat something at the cantina on Route 66, where once again with hostility in the air, I was ganged up on unfairly, and by that poor old manager there in the street got several times hit. He connected with feather soft punches though. He didn't hurt me and swung like a little old sissy. Just imagine the cartoon Popeye getting jumped by the cartoon Wimpy. Well, me, that was just the way it happened there, too. I thought, what would a hitchhiking guitar man do? I crossed my heart, truthfully it wasn't my fault. I charged that poor old manager with assault. Being a cowboy doesn't always mean being nice. Kissing up to uppity folks ain't this old cowboy's way of life. A real cowboy will always follow a lonesome, narrow trail. He doesn't like to unnecessarily fight, but he loves standing up for himself. He doesn't like to unnecessarily fight, but he loves standing up for himself.
Dean Strickland here on Big G's Texas Roadshow. You heard it right there. Straight from the man who lives the life of the hitchhiking guitar man. Dean, best of luck in your travels. Best of luck in your career. And you ever get back this way, make sure and let me know, and we'll do this again.
I appreciate you, Big G.
Anytime, brother. Let's get on back to the music here on the Roadshow.